What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today, yet another design video. This one is highly requested because it is surrounding cottagecore, one of the most trendy things in Animal Crossing New Horizons currently. So what exactly is cottagecore? I think we need to start there. All cottagecore is it's a design style. That is all it is. And this design style in particular focuses in on the forest and woodsy areas, mixed with random item placement and mismatched patterns and paths. I think I got all of that. All it is embracing the woods and bringing more green into your map. I'll stick with that. And I really like this because it kind of focuses in on what Animal Crossing used to be. Animal Forest was the name of the first Animal Crossing game, and that focused in, of course, on the forest and animals living in the forest. So I really love this design style, kind of nostalgic for me in a way. But today I have design ideas for you guys to kind of enhance your cottagecore islands or possibly get you started in making your cottagecore island. Let's get to the first tip. And the first tip I'm actually standing on right now. This is called The Path. That is actually the nickname for this pattern. This is a 9-piece pattern. I know, it's 9 pieces. And I've actually made a dedicated video already about this pattern, how to do it, how to get started, the creator ID. So if you want to check that out, that is actually in the description. But basically, a quick rundown. This pattern, I just feel is more interesting than the paths that Nintendo gives us. And the reason is because you can customize how wide, how narrow you want this, and you can actually fit this around tighter areas. So it's very customizable, and I highly suggest using this, especially if you're going for that cottagecore aesthetic. Now, alternatively, I do have another path that I use in more of the rural areas. I actually have a hiking trail on my island, and I also have a trail that goes around a pond, which I'll show you later. And this is what I use for it. So these are very high quality rock patterns, which I will put them on the screen for you right now. So just search the creator ID. I use 2 in particular. So right here we have mossy stones, and we also have round moss stone. And what I do with that, let's start with the mossy stones. I'll just put these down, and you can kind of see to my right a little spoiler of what I do. So I skip one, and then I will switch to the round stone. And this is just good, like I said, deep in the woods, just an alternative to the path that you guys might already be using. So this is just a quick, so you just skip every other one. And of course you can make, bended shapes and stuff like that to make it more interesting. And to just finish this off, all I do is I put weeds in the middle, and it kind of gives it more of a defined path. And I really like the way that it looks, especially around here. So you will see this rounded pattern, and all it is those 2 path patterns with some weeds in the middle, and it does give it a defined shape, and I really like the way it looks, especially deep in the woods. All right, next I'm going to show you some of my secret weapons for cottagecore, and what I mean by that is certain things I use to fill space. Cottagecore, I feel like, is all about filling space and making everything on your map feel condensed, and like I said before, controlled chaos. That is cottagecore. So let me go down the line of what I use. So first tip is to use out of season bushes. So basically bushes that don't have any flowers or berries on them, the ones that just stay green. So these might be fall bushes or winter bushes. And I think if you put them deep in the woods, they look really good. Next, I use these in pretty much all of my design idea videos. Weeds. They just look great, and they are really good at filling space. Next, we have log stakes. I like to customize them to have this white birch color. I feel like they look really, really good like that. And then if you guys were wondering about the flower types that I use for cottagecore, I use 2 in particular. I use mums and I use hyacinths, and I've actually made it really easy for you guys. These are the colors that I use. So going to the hyacinths first, we have the blue and purple. I think that blue and purple look really good. Again, in the wooded, overgrown, parts of your island. They look really good near cedar trees. And then we go over to the mums, which might be, I think hyacinths are my favorite, but mums are a very close second. I use white, yellow, and green. And the reason I use these colors in particular is that they look like glorified weeds, like dandelions or something like that. So I love mums. They look great in the forest, and definitely these items will look great on your cottagecore island. All right, continuing sort of some of my secret weapons here, we have what I kind of warmed up to recently is country fencing. I think country fencing mixed with the cottagecore, the overgrown trees, bushes, I think looks fantastic. Now, what I do with the country fencing is I don't go crazy with it. I do kind of small partitions, basically just like little L shapes in front of houses, I think look really good. Now, this does cover the sign that tells you which villager lives there, but I've been playing this game now for what, 3 months? I know where my villagers live, so I think if you stay consistent with those partitions, they look really good. Let me show you another example. So again, over here, we are towards my upper residential area, and still I've, kept it pretty simple with the country fencing, just small partitions to kind of separate the houses a little bit. I also did one right here just to define that corner with some items placed. And then again, nothing crazy, guys, with the fencing. I just made, another like upside down L, and then connecting these two houses, I think looks really great. All right, now this next tip, I believe is an original idea. I've taken some inspiration, but I've kind of changed up the patterns that were used. And this, I feel like, is a really good dynamic to have in the middle of the woods. This is like deep in the forest in your island. So what we're going to be doing here, and I'll get to what exactly we're doing, is we're just going to terraform some land up. And this is going to be 2 blocks wide. And I think you guys will really like this. This is just a very nostalgic thing for me. As a kid, going in the woods and seeing these weird objects or bridges, I think look really good. Okay, so there we go. Just on a very small scale. So just 2 wide. And in this particular one, I've just done, what is that, 3 or 4 long. Now I will put this pattern on the screen for you. And all this pattern is just dark wood planks. So I'm just going to put this here. And I like how this pattern kind of goes over the edge and gives it more of a clean look. So all I'm going to do is put this pattern on top. Like that. We covered the entire thing. Next, this is where it gets interesting, and I think you guys will know where I'm going. This is a DIY, so you will need this DIY, and it's called jail bars. So all it takes is 5 iron nugget. Now, when you do make the jail bars, they will come out very clean looking, like shiny metal jail bars. We don't want that look. We want to customize that so they get a rusted look. There's actually, I think, 3 different customizations. You can do like a black color, but you can also do the rusty color, which that's what we're doing today. And what we're going to do is we're going to take the jail bars and place them on the side of this. And we'll just push those in. And maybe you guys can see what I'm doing. I'll give you the full realized example on my island. We're essentially making a bridge, and I like how the rusted jail bars work as the sides of the bridge. Now, having this old kind of rundown bridge in the middle of the woods gives it a great dynamic with the foresty vibe, and I think that's super cottagecore. Let's check out the example that I did in my island to kind of give you guys a more realized design look. Okay, so once again, we are up on the top residential area. And this area over by Eric's house looks kind of like it ends. And this is another thing that I like to do. I kind of like to give the player some, exploration. Maybe your friends come over or something and they have to explore your island to really get to the ideas that you want people to see. So here we go. If we go through the woods here, we are going to get to my bridge, which I've kind of done differently than what I just showed you. So it's the same kind of dimensions. It's obviously a lot longer. But I've actually done a gap right in the middle to kind of separate. If you look down to the left, that's kind of my hiking trail. So my hiking trail actually goes through the bridge. And I think that the gap actually gives it sort of a run down, kind of like the bridge is broken type look. And obviously I can go over that. Just note that your villagers can't jump over, but they will randomly spawn on either side of the bridge. So this is my fully realized rusty bridge in the middle of the woods. And I don't know, just kind of gives that nostalgic vibe. Let me know what you guys think of this idea in the comment section below. All right, so if rusted bridges aren't your thing, I have another bridge idea for you. So all I've done is kind of made a letter I shape. So this bridge will actually be 1 square thick. And I will put these patterns on the screen for you right now. It is a 3-piece pattern. You can search the creator code for the other 2 pieces. So this is a log bridge. Now what you want to do is take this first part. This might be the most important piece of this pattern. It's kind of the log round where you can see the rings around the log. You're going to actually put this on this piece of the land. So you're not going to actually put this on the bridge part. Next, what you're going to do is go to the middle pattern here. It's just the square of log. So put that down, and then you will go to the end of the log, which is the rounded piece, and put it like that. Now this is sort of an illusion pattern, so it kind of catches, you kind of catch what it is at different angles, but I think that this is a very, very creative way. I don't have an example to show you guys, but just imagine to the left and the right of me, there was like a river or something like that, and you had a log bridge in the middle of your island. Again, most of these ideas, I keep saying, but deep in the woods, this would be probably the most effective. And let me know what you think, guys. I haven't seen this on anyone's island. I saw this pattern, I believe it was on Instagram. So this might be a cool pattern to use on your island if you have a very foresty vibe. Of course, guys, round out the edges. But log bridge, there you go. All right, and last but not least, this doesn't require any patterns at all. This is just another kind of naturey cottagecore idea. This is my house right here, and again, I've kind of done this false ending with the trees kind of blocking the way, but if you explore even more, it comes out to a clearing, and there's more of a path. And this design idea is kind of fully realized. There's no patterns, there's no how-tos. It's just making a fishing dock. I will put the dock pattern on the screen for you. I can at least do that. But this is a great way to fill space in your island and kind of make a very naturey design kind of piece in your island. And it's actually usable too. Like I can go and fish right here if I want to. And I just think it's a great use of space on your island. In addition, I've made some other parts to this. So if I go down here, kind of right behind my museum. See that little island with the cedar tree on it? I've actually snuck a stepping stone right there, and I can actually fish from this. So the most important part for this fishing pond for me was the ability to kind of be able to fish from all angles. I've been to some people's islands where you can't fish in their giant ponds that they make. So I guess keep that in mind if you want to have the best experience, especially with the fishing tournament coming up. And then again, I went over this path in the beginning of the video, but I've kind of made another nature trail all the way around this fishing pond. You know, little waterscaping. The mushroom items are great, even though they come out in the fall time. Again, out of season bushes, weeds, log stakes, flowers. To see it fully realized, I think is very, very cool. So here you go, a fishing pond. Guys, that's it for today. Plenty of cottagecore ideas, some of my secrets, some of my preferred flowers and ways to kind of spice up certain areas. Let me know what you think in the comments section below. Maybe we'll do a part 2 because cottagecore is taking over Animal Crossing right now. Thanks again for watching, guys. I will see you in the next video. Peace out.